Hello there, everyone. I have a face. I'm just gonna wait for people to come in, hop in, join the chat. Now, um, and until then, I think I'm going to talk about what's been happening, how I've been doing. I've been doing pretty good. I last week I talked about a hoodie that wasn't gonna come until like the 26th. Surprise, surprise, showed up. So very happy about that. Um, but yeah, so I'm just gonna wait until people file in, so we can. No, does it? No, I wrote Solar Mom. It's just very small. Or the the line work itself is very small. I couldn't find like a wide Sharpie, but it says uh, Solar's mom certified dork. So, or Solar Mom certified dork. So that's what I got going for me, or that's what she's got going for her. um. So yeah, do we wanna? So this stream, I wanted to break this stream down into more bite-sized videos. Um, rise in readability. I wanted to break this down into like smaller videos, so so people can watch it later and in smaller bites. Um, so yeah, that's what I've that's what I'm gonna plan to that's what I'm planning to do today. So maybe like 20-25 minute chunks of work, and then we break it and take a minute or two, and then right into the next one. So yeah, that's my plan for this stream. Um, so I guess I should an introduction. Oh, I didn't even think about my introduction. I cannot read that. I don't read Welsh. I don't read Welsh very well. Um Gosh. Why couldn't I think of an introduction? Um Wow. Don't mind me just absolutely blanking. Start it like Sotten would, with screaming. With screaming. Oh, Cornish. We should just start it like just like start Sotten would, just screaming. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody. We're just spending some time working on Ofsugitxi. If you haven't been able to catch these streams, I've pretty much been working on this language and my other language that I started off in high school. Um and I'm still pretty proud of it. It just needed some work. But today we are focusing on Ofsugitxi, which I need to adjust this. Ofsugitxi. So, just as a quick recap, um, Ofsugitxi was meant to be a very non-concatenative language with with subject agreement marked by apophony. So a front vowel or o, or a back vowel, which I mark with H, with the H archiphoneme for e, u, and the M archiphoneme for e, o. And then some vowel mutation can happen because of R's and R in the proto-language. So, when we look at the morphology page, you can see very clearly how that works. So, is this the one with the clefting? Yes, this is the one with the clefting. One of the big things, so one of the big things is that I wanted there to be a lot of clefting, a lot of quote-unquote non-configurationality. Which we're gonna work on today. So, that's why I have object agreement and, case marking. But, yeah, big goals, actually, right? Analogy, heavy analogy, Cornish or Welsh style clefting, and no grammatical number shown in, no grammatical number shown in verb. I should change that. For subject. No grammatical number for subject marking. So, that's pretty much what we're going to work on today is syntax and how things work. In previous streams, we ended up figuring out that the proto-lang might have a relative clause structure, something like this. So, underneath the blue house that fell would be constructed as underneath that fell house blew the. So, it's something. It's very un-English, which I like a lot. Sutton, one of the regular attendees of this stream, pretty much just said, "Hey, here you go." So, yeah, that's how we got this. And I did pick up a book, or I ordered a book on syntax, like theoretical syntax and stuff. So we will learn more about how to do things. But for right now, these are just the seedlings of what might become something more intense. So, before in other streams, we had kind of faced this deal. I'm gonna just delete that because that's all sorts of out of date. Hello, Maitsu. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for checking in. It's great. It's great to see new people. It's I'm just learning. I'm using this as an opportunity to learn and get better. So, can't really do much more. So in previous streams we ended up facing something like this, where it's non-configurational. The modern syntax is non-configurational, but there's just a whole bunch of like caveats with that. I don't quite remember. I think OVS came from like OVS here came from clefting. So like, take a sentence like, the dog sat on the rock. So the dog sat on the rock becomes it is the rock that the dog sat on. So that whole idea of object fronting, but with this relative clause structure, that would look a bit different. So the preposition relative, the relative. So we might be looking at something like on. That is the dog. On that is the dog sat. Rock the. Where we might be looking at something. I don't think it has to be ship. I don't think it has to be a relative clause for the object to front. But just since, and this is my Anglophone coming out. Since that's what we do in English, that's what came to me. There are ways to cleft. There are ways to cleft that don't involve relative clauses. Yeah, in the Celtic languages they just do it. So it might be so take the dog sat on the rock. So Maitsu, you're like we're like a step ahead of you. So I'll get into that in a second, but we have a way to handle topicalization, which I think would be the big function, like the big thing that would cause clefting. Yeah. Yeah, Maitsu. Uh yeah, we have ways to do it. We have ways to do it, and I'm very, very, very excited for it. So if we're just doing the dog sat on the rock, we can do rock the dog sat. So on the rock the dog sat. Hey Majahadra! Be aware that English does pied piping. Intriguing. What does that mean? What does pied piping mean? While I'm waiting for a response, I'm gonna go into this case system that we have for Maitsu. So I can explain quick what I'm doing with topicalization. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 cases. 2 of them are genitives. What's the difference between the 2 genitives? Well, the first genitive speaks about or is used for possession, description, or participation. This one can also function as an essive, aka something to the effect of being an X. Oh, is that what Pied Piping is? Shipped the. She bought Which House Becomes. Pied Piped. It's Pied Piped. Love that. That's fantastic. Um. So the first genitive is used for possession, description, participation, and description, something to the effect of being an X. So, for an example, dog. Oh, what was the example I used last night? What was the I was talking with Sutton last night. Oh, what was it? Was something to the effect of dog, child. Was it Gen 1 that I used or Gen 2? Yeah, it was Gen 2. No, I did use Gen 1. I guess it's just understood as. You can also split. Pied Piping can also split phrases? PP? Phrases? Yeah, it was Gen 1. We're just gonna skip over that. Dog. But given proper context, dog, child, genitive 1 can also mean a puppy. Because of that essive figure. The dog, child, Gen 2 was. Oh, which one was the puppy and which one was the child's dog? I feel like Gen 2, because it was topicalization, like putting the child as the topic, made it a possessor, or made it understood as a possessor. I may be totally incorrect on that one. I may be incorrect about my own language. It's well, anyway, this first genitive handles possession, description, and participation. Then if genitive 2, Gen 2 has the essive function. Genitive 2 has the essive function. So that. Whew, that's interesting. How would that work with the topicalization? Would that just mean that Sutton knows more about my language than I do? Woo! I guess it's just the idea of like yeah, that was exactly it actually. Um so so last night while I was on the call with Sutton, we ended up figuring out a way to just demolish a sense of the sense of different parts of speech. So there's no such thing as noun versus verb. And we ended up figuring out a way to destroy the differentiation between noun and adjective, or noun verb and adjective. So the second genitive would be used to make an adjective out of a noun. I feel like that would have the man like who want. Yeah, the man like who hunts ducks. The man like who's been slapped by cats. I love that. Um, but using this essive, we can derive adjectives from nouns, which can be very, like, confusing. And so I, there's just a whole bunch of things, that are going to affect everything. So let me start from the beginning, or let me start from a point that makes sense. So there are 9 cases: nominative, accusative, dative, 2 genitives, locative, ablative, allative, instrumental. Everything behaves the way it normally does. And the 2 different genitives use different functions of just like a normal genitive. Where the first genitive is possession, description, and participation. And the second genitive is used for origin, reference, topicalization, and now description. Or a different sense of description. Yeah, let's just shove that. So yeah, description. Locative, ablative, allative are all pretty normal. They're all pretty normal. The instrumental does, I talked about this with Sutton last night as well. The instrumental does a little bit of weirdness. It functions as an instrumental, and I didn't know that there was a whole different meaning that can be conveyed by an instrumental, as well as an entirely different case. I wasn't given the name of the other case, but the other case was like, hey, how did you get here? By means of X. So the instrumental case is used with like, hey, how did you cut that? I used a knife. And how did you get here? How did you get here? I used a car. Or another fun one we used, another fun example that we figured out was, I ate by means of hunting deer. So these case markers are going to do all sorts of clefting. They're going to be the reason for clefting. It's gonna be. They sound similar, but some languages are very strict on distinction. Methodative. That's a fun name. Also, Maitsu, could you explain izafe? I feel like I remember that from Arabic. It's something like with the. It's an accusative-esque sort of thing, but I'm not sure. Yeah, ship. That does sound like a comitative, but I don't know, because apparently they are different. Instructive is the name that would be given from what has been found. Yeah, the comitative is normally just bunched in with with the instrumental, which is, hold up. I ended up figuring out that the first genitive would have that. Well, no, would it? Does it make sense if I already have an instrumental? I could just do the instrumental commitative. Bam. And instructive. Izafe is a person thing that is a Persian thing. It's a genitive-esque connecting word. That's interesting. I'll have to read up on that. But yes, so to finally get along to the basic idea, a lot of these cases are going to be the reason for clefting. The reason why we can get away with clefting. And this person marking is how we're going to be able to keep the clefting. So as you can see, in the singular, in all of these declensions, is generally not very roll marking. It doesn't like to do stuff. It doesn't like to do roll marking. In the plural, for the voiced declension and the palatal declension, yes, it likes to do roll marking. But it's not very common. And in fact, I can see just this falling out of use. But we I'm not sure how I want to do that. So that's basically cases. They came from nominative, accusative, and dative all came from a very old case system that is most likely pre-proto, and everything else came after. So that's our genitive system, our noun case system. Person marking is done by apophony, so close vowel or mid vowel, I, A, U versus E, A, O. Yeah, nothing really there. Something. Okay, hear me out. Call it the adverbial case. Disconnected from locative use. Oh, Sutton. But yeah, person marking is done by apophony. And I usually write archiphonemes because it's just easier to me. But here's our tense system. My last stream, my last stream, I had a little bit of a excited spell because of how beautiful this is. This is amazing to me because the way it works, the way it evolved from a simple past non-past system with an imperfective perfective distinction. So the old perfective got mutated into a direct evidential marker. What do you mean adverbs are just a case? Love that. The perfective mutates into a direct past evidential. And soon after that, a new perfective auxiliary comes into use. Now this perfective auxiliary came into use with both the present and the indirect past. So, you had that current meaning of right now I am doing X. Right now I do X. And I am continuing to do X. Which would have been represented by that present perfective. Now that meaning of I am continuing to do X got reinterpreted as a future. Which means the future tense is the assumed tense in all circumstances. And I love it. I kind of took inspiration from English, obviously, because of our unmarked... I took inspiration from English and then flipped it on its head. You'll find I do that a lot. I've done that with voiceless vowels. I've done that with, oh my gosh. I've done that with... What am I thinking about? Oh, I did that with the phonology of Ofsugitxi, the whole heavily aspirated thing. But I took the idea from English where the unmarked form is the habitual and flipped that on its head for Ofsugitxi and used the unmarked form of the verb as the future. Because it is innately perfective or imperfective. That's my absolute favorite aspect currently. I also love that they become infixes. These become infixes. So in all circumstances, the other than when it ends in a vowel, becomes an infix, and what used to be r became an infix. And in coda-position, r caused vowel coloring, or R coloring. So vowels like I and U became E and O. So ir became er, ur became or, and er became ar, and or became or. So that's how we get low vowels in the direct past for the mid vowel conjugation. I don't think there's very much left to talk about for what we have so far. So just to summarize, cases, big boy cases, we're gonna use a lot of those for clefting. Tenses with an assumed future tense. And person marking done by vowel apophony. And all of this, so this roll marking stuff is done to facilitate clefting, which in the next video we're gonna cover. So YouTube, come on back if you want to see how that plays out. But yeah, that's all for this one. End scene. So that's the first YouTube video from a stream. Definitely gonna have to do some editing. Not used to not having a script. Time to have all to a o based off of umlaut. Oh my gosh. No, Sotten, you know I love the Germanic languages, but no, I can't. I I can't do it. That would be fun though. I think I'll save that for possibly another language in this family if we ever get to it. Or if we ever do it, I'd definitely be up for that. All right. So I guess let's hop into the next one. Let me take another drink before I start rambling. And 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. So, if you saw the last video, you'd know that for this one, we're going to be working on clefting and other syntax-related stuff for Ofsugitxi. Last time we went over case marking, person marking, and tense marking, all of that to facilitate what I think is going to be the main thing of this language, which is its non-configurational syntax, which surfaces in the form of clefting. So, I am definitely out of my comfort zone here. I am very glad to have Satan on the stream. He is a recurring character. But I'm very glad to have him on stream so he can explain weirdness to me. And yeah, let's just hop right into it. Okay, so going over basics of what I have worked out. So let's just move everything so I can get some sort of bam. Okay. Ooh, what am I doing? So at some point in a transitionary period. Okay, so Satan. Clefting is in English, we do it with the structure it is I who ate the cake. So it's kind of like drawing attention. It's meant for attention grabbing. We're drawing emphasis out of that. So it is I who ate the cake. Who ate my cake? It is I who ate the cake. That's the big thing. So we figured out cases and person marking, how that's going to affect clefting, and well, how that's going to facilitate clefting. How it's going to affect clefting is what we're here to figure out. I have a few forms ready. So let's just take a word. The animal uses the let's do the sentence. The animal uses the hand axe, or the animal keeps the hand axe. So we'd be doing. I'm not gonna worry about. Actually, I can. I can worry about it. Körgot ze zu. Körgot zu Asali. Kurgatsu asali. So animal, keep, and axe. Yes, pseudo-topicalizing. That at least how English does it. I'm not sure if Cornish or Welsh do it for the same reason. I mean, I feel like they would, but so the sentence Kurgatzu asali or asali is the animal keeps the hand axe. Oh, I click instead of using shortcuts on IPA keyboard. I am so sorry, Satan. Okay, so how do we take this? How do we take this and turn this into a sentence like to togat togat oh to togat love this and togat, or how do we turn this into ashal? Oh my gosh, I need of course. Okay, we're just gonna have to understand that that is stressed on the second syllable. I'm gonna do something cursed. Okay. Ashalzu togat. Hold L L L L L L L. Mm. Okay, just checking chat. Yeah, in Cornish there are different particles used when a verb is focused. Hand axe or hand gen 1 axe. I'm not sure. So it's not hand axe in the sense of it's an axe for a hand. It's a hand axe in the sense that it is too big to be a knife. And it's a different method. So the way that hand axes would be made is that they would be stone knapped from like a rectangular rock, where one side would be honed to an edge, and the other side would be held, and you would. You like how I passed it from hand to hand? You take it and you just so that's why it's a hand axe and not like a blade. Okay. So, going back to chat. In the second one, the verb's focus, so it uses the particle you. You. There we go. You. Okay. Ship that. You prenas. Okay. That makes sense. And then, which also triggers different mutation. Hand genitive 2 axe then. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But what just for right now, we'll just say that that's what it means. I guess. Boom. So it's not confused for morphology. Okay, so how can we take the animal keeps the hand axe and turn that into axe keep animal. It's buying a computer, father did. In your example, ship. So we have I'm trying to work through like the different things we have. So we can do genitive. We can use the genitive constructions. We can use the genitive constructions for hand axe. So we can take ashal, genitive 2, just to like ashal yed. Ashal yed. Ashal yed. Zu. Zu is fine because it's third person subject. And then Togat. Ah. And then animal. Voiceless. Togatom. So that's simple. That's like the simple idea of what's happening. What's happening with that second genitive, where it's the idea of it's the hand axe, the animal. It's the hand axe the animal is keeping. So I guess we can, like, does that make sense? That's not a very not very complex. So I think I have a good grasp on what that is, or what that should be, and how we use the different genitives. Because that verb keep, at least in my head, that verb keep needs a genitive for the possessor. Needs the possessive genitive for the possessor. I don't know if it's necessarily required. But it makes sense to me. No. Would it? I don't think it would be necessary, but it might fall into use. When you have things marked enough, it doesn't need to be complex to move things. Exactly. That's the whole point. That is exactly the point. Shit. So maybe we can say that in phrases of possession, or using verbs of possession, stuff like keep, have, take, own, then what functions as a subject takes the first genitive case because of clefting. Just for no actual reason other than it's just what they do. So let's go into that sentence. That sentence we used earlier. I eat dinner by means of hunting a deer or killing a deer. So in the proto, it might look something to the effect of because of kill I'll just say animal. Because of kill animal. Because of kill animal, I eat dinner or food. I do agree, but that I do agree, but I like making complex rules to have native speakers say no, that's wrong. That's something that's fair. I don't understand this very much yet. So I'm just gonna sit with that for a second, and if I find something that I like, if I find something I like, I'll add it. But yeah, so I eat dinner. So I eat dinner. I instrumental hunt. Or we turned it into an adverbial case. So I eat dinner. I hunt deer. So I wonder, how would infinitives be handled? We don't have a morphological infinitive. Should I just say that it's like third person, marked for third person, and marked for third person future? Am I not doing kill animal in the instrumental? I don't know. Okay, I eat dinner, using myself hunt, or by means of myself hunt animals. Okay, so one or adverbial by means of myself kill animal. One eat. So I eat. I don't think food would be necessary because all verbs are ambitransitive. So just I eat. So a eat. 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 Do I have a word for kill? If not, we can just create one. I have a word for strike. And we'll worry about that semantic drift later. But I have a word for strike. Kof. Kof. Kurgat. Egit. Egit. Or Egit. Kof. Kurgat. Forget die. Kill equals forget plus die. How do you... How come? Is it like I forgot death? I forgot dying? I don't or is that just like a meaning of oh my gosh, what's it called? Neglect. Are we just neglecting? Like forget then die. A And then do I have a word for eat? It is possible. I do not have a word for eat, so we're just gonna do something that I can remember off the top of my head. Or I can figure out off the top of my head. So, eat. Yathum. Yeah, Yathum. Where it ends up being like, I think it just turns out into Yathum. And the Yathum into Yathum. Simple. So a Yathum. Okay. So, by means of myself hunting animals, I eat. Okay. So used even in none negative clauses if the outcome is negative. Used even in none negative clauses if the outcome is negative. What is used even in none negative clauses if the outcome is negative? I lost you, Satan. And then, so let's look at. So this is something to the effect of I eat an animal meat dinner. Forget is greater than a negative. Forget is, or is that forget is greater than or forget to a negative clause auxiliary or negative causative auxiliary. Yep, I get it. I get it now. Totten, you're a genius. I'm just slow. Okay, so how can we take this from I eat an animal meat dinner to I eat dinner from an animal? I eat dinner because of an animal. Because of killing an animal. Because currently the focus is dinner. It's I eat dinner. I eat dinner. So how can I turn that into eat? I'm not slow, you're just unintelligible. I like that. No, I was also diagnosed with bees in the head, so that's that's yeah. Bam. So I eat. How can we take this from I eat an animal meat dinner to I eat an animal meat dinner? My first thought is putting eat in a relative clause. Or somehow as a conjunctive clause. Um, if we follow that idea of that idea of putting eat in a relative clause. So eat First person. First person. Or I guess, yeah. EAT does not look like the right word for eat. It doesn't look like that's how you're supposed to spell it. I just had that moment. I apologize. So in a relative clause, this would take a case, I believe. So, would I do an adverbial sort of thing, or would I do... I do an adverbial case, or... If this is meant to... Oh my gosh. Oh, Sawton. What did you just bring upon the world? Animal Gen 2. Copula. Animal Gen 2, copula. 1 adverbial hunt. Okay, hold up. Okay, hold up. I think I get it. So what Sawton has described to me. Animal Gen 2 copula, which might be recognized as just the word animal without any case marking. One adverbial hunt kill infinitive okay. So that is what Sawton has brought upon the world. Okay. Let's... So animal Olgot animal like animal using me to hunt I eat. An animal like animal using me to hunt I eat. Wow. Okay. These are just the joys of conlanging. Wait. Okay. These are just the absolute joys of conlanging. How un-English can we make it? So Tolgot. Tolgot Yade. Tolgot Yade. So which then again might be realized as just the copula might be realized as an animal classified copula. Tolgot. Tolgot. If... Oh. 1 adverbial kill infinitive. So that would break down into kill one Kif Gitre Kif Gitre Kif Git or Kif Git Kif Gitre Yatem or Yatrem. No, it's Yatrim. Bam. So let's break this down a bit. Let us break this down a bit. Torgat is the topic. So the topic is animal meat. I want to talk about animal meat. The fact that my dinner is animal meat. So it's animal meat. Oh, no, this wouldn't be the animal copula. It would be the person copula. That would be the human copula. Okay. I mean, yeah, that hold up. Let me just make up a word. Then I'll just justify why this is Demel. I'll just justify why that's Demel later. So Demel. Okay. So, breaking this down, an animal meat dinner, animal meat to be what I killed, I eat. Animal meat to be what I killed, I eat. Let me see if I understand this. Why would I use a copula there? It's why would I not put killing with animal is my question, I guess. Because so I guess my immediate thought goes to kill verbial animal genitive 2. If that makes sense. And then I would do that. Okay, hold up. Oh my gosh. By means of killing an animal. Well, no, that's just the same. That's just the same thing. But it's the fact that the second genitive So I guess, yeah, animal would kind of sit on its own, wouldn't it? Because the emphasis is on the animal. The emphasis is on the animal. As for the animal, it is by means of me killing it I eat. Oh. They kind of like to Englishify it. As for the animal, it is me killing it I eat. Or it is me killing I eat. So I might as for the animal, presumably me, okay, so the literal translation would be something to the effect of, as for the animal, it is by means of a human being killing it, presumably me, that I eat. I like that. I like that a lot. That is beautiful. And on that note, as I have reached my epiphany, I'm gonna close that off for this video. It was great to see ya. Next video, we're gonna be doing more of this, figuring out more sentences and how things are gonna work, and just making my goals for the language shape up. Thank you for watching. Do all of the YouTube things, like, subscribe, share, what have you, if you liked what we did. And catch the next video if you want to see more of this. Alright. Signing off. End scene. Okay. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, I love it. That is really cool. As for the animal, it is by means of a human killing it, presumably me, that I eat. Please don't. Don't hack my document. Satan. Oh, jeez, this is great. It's funny because I'm actually understanding it. That's my thing. I don't do syntax. Syntax is not my thing. I do phonology and morphology. And quantum morphology. I don't do syntax. So the fact that I'm understanding this complex sort of structure don't be fooled, they're already in. That's terrifying. Let me make sure nothing's edited. Watch one. Satan, don't lie. Don't lie. You understand this more than I do. Oh, you don't do this until a week ago. But yeah, this is super cool. I'm actually grasping it, which is beyond me. The fact that I can. Okay. That these sentences are these sentences are definitely going to go in the Google Doc that I have for the I just pirated the learning material, to be fair. Don't admit it. Don't admit it, Sutton. The internet police are gonna come get you. Arg. Oh, it's great. Okay, so I think we can pull at least one more video out of this stream. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do a lot of what's the word? Editing. I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing. But as I do this more, I know I'll get better at it. But yeah. I'm scared of the popo. Sutton. I can't say I do think you're scared of the popo. My kid's grandpa is a popo. He would want to throw me in, to be fair. To be fjar. You doing your Norse language? Fjar. To be fjar. Okay. So let's get one more episode. Oh, let's get one more video out of it. And then we can just hang out for the rest of the stream after that. You wouldn't hijack Solar's stream. Okay. Let's get this. Let's get this bread. Let's get this brot. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. We have more to do. We have more syntax to do. This is gonna be fun. I am absolutely ecstatic. Because as you've seen from the last video, I'm actually grasping stuff where I don't usually do syntax. But with the assistance of the lovely Sutton, a recurring personality on the show, I have gotten some sort of grasp as to what this language might do with its topicalization and clefting. So, let's get into some more. So let's look like let's look at a sentence. I think that okay. This could be interesting. Something to the effect of, I am thinking about something with a null object. So I've stated before that all verbs in Ofsugitxi are innately ambitransitive, which just further breaks down that distinction of noun versus verb. And adjective. Just the whole destruction of the part of speech. You know what? We're just gonna delete that column. So that leads me to the question, what does a null object mean? Or just an indefinite object? What does an indefinite object look like with these ambitransitive verbs? So, let's look at a sentence like let's look at a sentence like, I think about X. So aheen, then aheen X. One, think. Noun incorporation. I like that. So X. We could do noun incorporation for indefinite objects. Could we do? So hear me out. Hear me out. So something to the effect of, I think about something that is X. That might look something like, or what am I doing? I forget what the phonological form is. Eta. Eta. Oh, excuse me. Also, I live for this thing going on between the two Sotten accounts. Don't hijack Solar's stream. No, I'm not. Don't lie, Sotten. It's beautiful. But yeah, let's say something like, I think about something that is. That could be a null subject. Or a null object. Because later in the language, that copula becomes a null object. Or a null, it's a null word. It literally just exists for other things to be slapped onto it. It no longer exists for its copulaic meaning. It exists for a more generalized meaning that it might take derivational morphology just to be like, hey, big, like, note the quality of largeness. But I don't know. I don't know how that's going to manifest. We're gonna have to work on that later. But along that lines of noun incorporation, at some point ita becomes understood as a noun. So we'd be looking at something. So we would be looking at something like in. Or yeah, it would be subject. It would turn an object into a functionally a subject. So E. Let's see how it does it. Eta. That leads me to another question. Given that eta comes from a verb, or just that it is a word, would eta receive the person marking as well. So would it be itin or itin? Or would it be etin? Or etrin? Etrin. I think that would be interesting to do. I think it would be interesting to have eta also, or I guess in the modern language it's it, to have that mark as well for person. But because it's functioning as a noun in that case, I think it wouldn't take person marking. It would default to the third person, the quote unquote unmarked form. So autrine. So null I'm thinking about something. Sutton. What are you doing? What are you doing to me? Oh my gosh, man. Okay, I mean, yeah. If you can't edit anything, I can post a copy of this on these videos if you'd like, Cotton. Oh my gosh. Okay. So along these lines of thinking about or indefinite objects. Along the lines of thinking about indefinite objects and doing noun incorporation. So, Sutton recommended this like I think like one of the first two streams that we were working on Ofsugitxi. At least we know. 83. Oh, yes, and mostly sunny. You can see that, and that my computer is charged, and that it needs an update. um, still to remember, sun touches all conlangs eventually. That sounds horrible. Don't. Okay, back on topic. Genitive 2. um the idea of indefinite objects. So we could do something to the effect of I'm thinking about some animals. I'm thinking about animals. So some animals that are could we make indefinite objects because all verbs are ambitransitive, could we make all indefinite objects into relative clauses? I don't see why not. The building fell. No, we're not killing dogs, Satan. We are not killing dogs. Or we're killing deer, but not dogs. So, I'm keeping. Yeah, we could do some. I'm keeping some dogs. Or I'm keeping some animals. Could we just do like that is or that are? Okay, cases. Nominative, accusative, dative, generally unmarked. Genitive 1 does possession and participation. Genitive 2 does origin, reference, topic, and description. There's locative, ablative, allative, and adverbial. No, we're not killing dogs. We're not killing dogs, Majahadra. You, I, I have a dog as well as a pig. I will not be giving context. I own a dog as well as a pig. That's. I'm already dealing with the bacon jokes enough. We're not killing dogs. Oh my gosh. Oh jeez. Okay. But my thought again is using the copula to shove things into relative clauses if they are indefinite. I never said we were killing dogs. No. Accusative requires plus definite on the noun. We just happened upon that. Oh, we just happened upon the dead dogs. Y'all's you Satan and Majahadra, y'all's profile pictures, if you're not looking at the profile picture, they look very similar. Okay, so hear me out. Accusative requires plus definite on the noun. So what's the are we just saying that that's in the nominative then? We just plop that in the nominative? Which is the same form. No. It's the same form, ultimately. I guess I'm missing. I guess I'm missing how that would affect it. When the noun is minus definite, the direct object, genitive 1, if the verb is not finite, all allative. Sauten's third alternate again. And when the noun is minus definite, the direct object takes either genitive 1 if a verb is minus finite, and the allative if it is finite, or for plus finite verbs. So take it like hold up. So I'm keeping some animals. So this one, so this I am so this I am thinking about something that is that sort of passive sort of thing that German does when there's just no quote unquote no subject. Like it is played here just means that people play here. But talking about indefinite objects, if it's like so one deep animal. Oh no, this would be allative. I keep two animals. I keep toward animals. Huh. Oh no, that is a non-finite. That would be considered non-finite. Don't mind me. If I'm correct, that's non-finite. Because it's functioning... Oh, no, that's just the English translation. So I keep... I'm keeping towards animals. Hmm. And then I'm gonna have to, like... Okay, so... Satan, please explain that to me. As to where you came up with that. Okay. Versus the house. House nominative, fall, 3, dog, accusative. The house fell on 3 dogs. House nominative, fall, dog. Allative, the fels. The house fell on some / a dogs. What I'm very intrigued by your justification behind this. Like what are you thinking? But while I'm waiting for the justification, a zoo. A zoo. Pergat. A zoo kergat. Fall infinitive. The dog survived. It's all okay. Thank you, Majahadra. Thank you for comforting me. Ambitransitive means optional object, so that the object case indicates the transitivity of the verb. Kind of like passive agent versus co-agent. I like that. That's very good. So, Satan, hear me out. Allative is never used as an allative. The allative case ends up never being used as an allative meaning. Like, it never means towards something. I like that. Allative becomes new-ish accusative. It becomes the indefinite accusative for fell on. Yeah. It would be the non-finite, or it would be the finite accusative. I like that idea. I'm just not sure. Not sure how to justify it. That's my thing. I mean, there is the thing that, like, to usually becomes an accusative. And toward is just a different form of to. But I like that system. They only survived because Majahadra found it. Son, no. 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 What? Oh my gosh, I'm plus 40 HP. Okay, Stream's over. No! No! Get that camera out of my face. Stream's over. Oh my gosh. Why are you like this? Oh. Okay, so if we're using the outive here, Kergat in what used to be Dun or Dune. So, but I'm just gonna Dun Korgat Dunya. Why are dogs dying? They said, yes, they did say that the dogs were already dead, but why are they dying? Oh my gosh. Okay. So, are we also shoving this indefinite noun? Unlike the bacon we were cooking. Leave Piggles alone! Leave Piggles alone, Sutton. I'm just gonna name this video Sutton, that's enough. I'm just gonna title this video trying to work on syntax but ending up ranting about death of animals. And it's not gonna be what anybody is expecting. So are we shoving animal, like the indefinite form of animals, into the verb complex? I'm not against that. I am not against that, given that we're already doing it. That's my justification for that. I'm not against doing Forgot. Oh my. Togadun. Yeah, it would be geminated. Togadunzu. Which would probably palatalize. So Zoo. I'm fine with that. Mine. Hello?
Mommy?
She's at work. I'm streaming. I apologize, everybody. That was my little brother. He's adorable. Okay, so would the noun take case marking if it's after it's incorporated? Is that something that would happen, or would we expect to keep it? Togadunzu. Togadunzu. Animal. Relative, plural. I love that it has been. It's been creating. It's been. My glosses have been creating. My cases have been creating. Oh my gosh, what's it called? Links, hyperlinks. Z. It would be Z, actually. Okay, so see no reason why case would be derivational here. Fair. You make a point. I'm going to remove this. I'm gonna remove these links. So and if we want to turn this into some animals, or what I'm keeping, I'd assume. Ooh. Okay, so then this would just be Z. That, I don't know if y'all hear that. That scraping sound. That is the pig running above my head. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can hear it, so I may just be laughing at nothing. Oh, .pl is the domain of Poland. It's the domain of Poland. Okay. Okay, so if I want to take it from I'm keeping some animals into some animals are what I'm keeping, I'm assuming that the difference is just so keep one animals allative plural, and then remove the hyperlink. Sutton, no! I love him! Don't eat the pig! Okay. So, yeah, just the big difference is that there's no non-incorporation, and obviously case marking happens. That's cool. This is the first time I'm actually using that I'm actually using noun incorporation. So I'm very intrigued by it and I enjoy it. Oh, we're becoming Navajo. All right. I don't really have much else to say for today. So YouTube, thanks for watching. I'm just gonna say, if you liked these videos and if you like the videos and you want to be a part of like the goofiness that's happening in the middle of them, definitely catch a stream. It's good. It's good stuff. We all have fun here, and we don't take ourselves too seriously. So, but yeah, if nothing else, just like, subscribe, share, do the things, and yeah, have a good one. Peace. And cut. Navajo doesn't have case. Erwa is what my kid said. Your kid is your kid speaking languages? Navajo doesn't have case. I mean, yeah, I'm aware. I'm just being a goof. I would like some explanation as to what Erwa means. Or Erwa means. Any? No, I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy with this. I am so glad that this is coming together and that I'm understanding it too. They're keying. They're keying to us all. Keying? I don't Sutton, I know I've said this before, but I 100% agree with whoever said that trying to figure out what you say is just like the last round of telephone. I But yes, I'm very glad that this is it's it's shaping up. There is something here. It's just fantastic. I am so glad that one, I'm creating this, and two, that I have y'all along to help me. Because this wouldn't be happening if I didn't have assistance. Y'all. Keying and typing. Y'all speak a weird English. I don't like it. But yeah, if I wouldn't have had assistance from pretty much all y'all who comment, and like, it kind of goes back to that whole when on Colin Gorey, he's where I know a lot of these people from. So Sawton, he's where I met Sawton. He's where I know Majahadra from. He's where I know, if you've been in other streams, he's if you know Galactic Sand from other streams, I met him through Colin Gorey, who is a linguistics YouTuber, conlanger YouTuber, who does this pretty much. But he actually has a degree. he has degrees, and I don't. And I think that's what I'm trying to bring to the table, is that you can do stuff without knowing much. You can do cool things without knowing very much. And obviously, as I learn more, I'm gonna learn more. I'm gonna understand things better. But as of right now, like, I don't know as much as Sawton or Majahadra or Galactic Sand or Melodious Apollo if they ever decide to show up. So I'm very glad that they are along for the ride. I'm very glad that y'all are along for the ride. And I'm just very glad that whoever's watching, I'm just very thankful, because this is cool. But yeah, I was saying something about Colin Gorey. Bees in the brain. Guess wait till... Is it the applicatives? Yes, it's 100% the applicative, Sawton. I hate the fact that you use applicatives. Wait till next Saturday when you stream. Madness. That's just you all the time, though. You just speak madness all the time, Sawton. I can't wait to hear the labiodental affricates. Or it was lateral lingual labial affricates. Lateral. Sawton. For those of you who don't know, there was one stream of Sawton's that I attended in which I in which I touched his language, and I said that he should have lateral labiodental affricates, and he did not bat an eye at it until he started adding it. He looks at it like, so he took, I think it was Inuktitut that he pretty much just stole the phonology from, and then he eventually got to the suggestions, and there was labiodental lateral affricates, and he goes, "How do you do that?" I figured it out, man. I just don't know how. I don't know how you would write that down. Maybe like a hold up. Oh my gosh, if I can see it, if I can find it. Okay, well, that doesn't matter. Oh, there. Oh. So then we can do something like love that. I think I prefer mine though. The fantastic. But yeah, so yeah, that's all I have to say. Look out for the heavily edited videos on my stream or on my YouTube channel. You know, do all the things, notification bell, subscribe, whatever. All right. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.